It's Friday, December 13th, and this is now on HNN. Why UH Manoa sent out a campus safety alert this morning. Plus, there's been an overnight stabbing as island residents beg authorities to stop the violence.
This is that we have to deal with.
Outrageous to put the country through this. After 14 hours of contentious debate over articles of impeachment, it now goes to the full House for a vote. I'm Skylar Henry here on Capitol Hill with how President Trump is responding.
They will have an overwhelming mandate from this election to get Brexit done.
The votes are counted and a winner is declared. I'm Ian Lee with the UK's election results that will shape the country's future.
The merch is strong with this one. Baby Yoda toys are now available for pre-order. These stories and more coming up on This Is Now. Hey everyone, happy Aloha Friday. It's Jonathan, your director producer here alongside Lacey.
We made it.
I know we made it, and I have to apologize for that open. That was a really bad Yoda impression I attempted. It did not go well.
I wasn't going to say anything, but we'll work on it.
All right. Hey, we got a whole newscast here and a lot to get to today on this Aloha Friday. We're going to start with, my phone blew up about this morning. There was a UH safety threat alert that was sent out by the UH system, and you've been working the phone all morning trying to figure out what exactly happened. What can you tell us?
Yeah, we've reached out to multiple authorities. Now, an arrest was made at the University of Hawaii at Manoa today after officials say a threat was made to the campus. You can see the alert there. Not much details are available on exactly what happened. I've reached out to Honolulu police and UH officials. Now, what we can confirm is the alert came out shortly before 9 a.m. The campus's Department of Public Safety officials said they received information regarding a possible threat to campus. Honolulu police, they did arrest someone on campus. They tell me that classes are continuing as normal, but for now we don't know what exactly the threat is just yet.
Yeah, you have several calls out to the police department and the UH system, so we're going to keep you updated on that. Look for more information on our evening news test, but still some more crime news to get to today.
I know. A 23-year-old woman was stabbed in the head in Liliha early this morning. That's according to emergency medical services. The incident happened before 5 a.m. on North School Street. EMS said the 23-year-old was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Honolulu police, they didn't have further details because the victim wouldn't tell the officers exactly what happened, but a very scary situation happening in Liliha.
Absolutely, and officers have made an arrest in a suspect they were looking for in regards to a bank robbery.
Yes, they have arrested him. He's been arrested. That's according to authorities. A Crimestoppers release say that the police located and arrested the 34-year-old suspect around 10:45 p.m. Thursday in the Manoa area. He is being held on suspicion of second-degree theft. Investigators say the robbery incident happened just after 10 a.m. Tuesday at the First Hawaiian Bank branch near Chinatown. The suspect allegedly handed the teller a note demanding money before fleeing on a skateboard. Sources said he got away with about $1,100. Anyone with information is urged to call Crimestoppers at 955-8300 or click there to submit an anonymous tip.
Yeah, that's there on our website there and any of our digital platforms, really. You know what? I'm seeing it in your comments there. People are frustrated about this uptick in crime, and we really saw that get to a boiling point last night.
Exactly. There was a meeting there. Now, HPD's crime mapping tool shows 81 reported robberies in the past 4 weeks. But police say the recent purse snatchings do not appear to be connected. That's because they've involved different people in different places. Our Chelsea Davis talked to residents who are begging authorities to stop the violence.
This is that we have to deal with, that every one of us in this room have to cower the criminal.
A fiery meeting in Hawaii Kai as elected officials, police, prosecutors, and residents discuss the rise in violent crimes. Another violent purse snatching. A 62-year-old woman was targeted at 5 a.m. as she was walking to work near the corner of A'ala and North Kukui streets, leaving her critically injured with a ruptured spleen. This follows similar muggings caught on camera in Waikiki, in Moanalua, and in Chinatown. Police believe they are random attacks.
When we took a look at it, it's scattered. They're not concentrated in one particular area. There's not any particular time. It's really all over the charts.
It's not the law-abiding citizen that should be afraid. It should be these damn dirtbags that are putting fear into all of our lives. Let's take back our community.
One thing these criminals do not understand is that they're committing a very serious crime. A crime against a senior person, a crime that can easily escalate into possibly a manslaughter charge.
In fact, this 17-year-old is now facing a manslaughter charge. Psychic Denny Saingo is accused of grabbing the purse of 85-year-old Dolores Corpus while she was walking with her husband in Kalihi this summer. She fell, hit her head, and died days later. Police say they're adding more resources and detectives to find the robbers in numerous other unsolved cases.
When we catch these guys, not if, but when we catch them, we will be pursuing federal charges against them if it is possible.
These people that are committing these crimes are playing Russian roulette, and they're going to get caught.
Federal charges come with longer sentences, and if the victim is 60 years old or older, suspects could face enhanced sentencing as well. Spallina said one suspect could face up to 20 years behind bars. Chelsea Davis, Hawaii News Now.
All right, here in the Digital Center, we have the ability to take different live looks all over the world. Right now, we have a satellite shot that's looking at Washington, D.C. There's the White House, a very gloomy evening there. The time there on the East Coast is 4:36. What can you tell us is going on in the latest with the impeachment inquiry, Lacey?
The House Judiciary Committee voted on 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump this morning, a day later than expected. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
Mr. Nadler?
Aye.
Mr. Nadler votes aye.
The House Judiciary Committee approved 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump Friday, the first for abuse of power, the second obstruction of Congress.
Mr. Collins?
No.
Mr. Collins votes no.
The committee voted along party lines 23-17.
This was a kangaroo court. Outrageous to put the country through this.
This is a moment where we had to hold the president accountable.
The session lasted just a few minutes following yesterday's marathon session that ended unexpectedly late last night when Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler put off the vote until today.
I want the members on both sides of the aisle to think about what has happened over these last 2 days and to search their consciences before we cast our final votes.
Democrats say they moved the vote in the interest of transparency, but Republicans argued the Democrats just moved it for TV ratings.
This crap like this is why people are having such a terrible opinion of Congress.
President Trump once again called it a hoax. He tweeted, "How do you get impeached when you've done nothing wrong?" The full House is expected to pass the articles of impeachment next week, and then it goes to the Republican-controlled Senate for trial in January. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the result there is a foregone conclusion.
We all know how it's going to end. There's no chance the president's going to be removed from office.
McConnell says he's coordinating with the president's lawyers so they're all on the same page. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Twitter is bringing back special labels to help users identify accounts and tweets from political candidates. The company said it's trying to give users original sources of information and prevent spoofed and fake accounts from fooling voters. The labels will appear on candidates' accounts and tweets even if they are retweeted by someone else.
Oh, interesting there, there. You know, we have some developing news over in Europe. We're going to head over to the UK, right? What's going on over there?
Hundreds of demonstrators took to the streets of central London to protest against Britain's general election result. This after a dramatic election has wrapped up in the UK with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson crushing the opposition. The result allows his Conservative Party to finish Brexit after years of uncertainty. CBS's Ian Lee reports from London.
The historic election came as a shock to many, but the headline was clear. Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Conservative Party won on a promise to get the UK out of the European Union.
They will have an overwhelming mandate from this election to get Brexit done.
First up on his victory lap was Buckingham Palace to get the Queen's blessing to form a government. Voters dealt a crushing defeat to opposition Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn, the centre-left party's worst loss since World War II.
This is obviously a very disappointing night.
President Trump quickly congratulated Johnson in a tweet, adding, "Britain and the United States will now be free to strike a massive new trade deal after Brexit." once Britain's new parliament is in place, Prime Minister Boris Johnson promises to pull the UK out of the EU by the end of January.
We need to move on. For 3 years we've done nothing but fight.
The resounding victory for Johnson breaks years of Brexit deadlock in Parliament, paving the way for the UK to leave the EU. But politicians in Scotland are now looking at their own independence from Britain.
Boris Johnson has no right, firstly, to take Scotland out of the EU, and secondly, no right to block the Scottish people choosing their own future.
Brexit now seems inevitable, but possibly at the cost of a united kingdom. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
All right, you gotta love the way they call their election there with the Gong of Big Ben. That's so dramatic. Hey, dramatic right now, North Shore pipeline, not as epic as yesterday.
Oh my gosh,
choppy, but
yesterday was so huge.
I know, there's no one out there right now. But so huge yesterday, and we gotta get an update on what's to come. Billy V is in for Guy today. Let's check out what he has to say.
High surf advisory in effect for the northwest facing shores of all the shorelines that are in purple, and that's until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, Kauai through Maui, or Ni'ihau through Maui. Surf heights 16 through 22, that's advisory heights on the north shore, west side 12 to 16. Those will come down a couple of feet when we get to the afternoon, but if you are not a professional, stay up on the dry sand on the shoreline, check with lifeguards. If you're visiting, south facing shore, flat to 3, perfect place to go. Here's your county by county breakdown. Mostly it's going to be partly sunny skies, windward to Mauka showers coming through. It'll get breezy as we get later in the day. We'll lose those breezy conditions this weekend. It will be nice.
Aloha, I'm joined on the couch by Jim Mendoza, our longtime reporter with Hawaii News Now, with KGMB. And he's got a new podcast that you just launched recently.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a podcasting kind of guy. And I'm kind of dipping my toes into podcasting. But our very talented producer, Jonathan Sape, came up with an idea. And he said, why don't we take some of your stories that you've done and turn them into podcasts? So I gave him a list of about 20 stories from this past year, just this past year. And he turned them into themes. And the first one is up and ready for people to listen to now. It's called Tell Me a Story.
And that's kind of been your theme ever since I've known you, Jim. And it's been a long time now. Is you sit down with people and you get them to tell you their stories, and you kind of even surprise them, I think, sometimes with the words they come up.
Yeah, you know, people respond if you listen to them and you make eye contact and you just chat with them and talk stories. So this kind of falls right into that. And for this first show, we're focusing on the theme of tradition. So we have taken the story about a muralist that I did last year, this young man who's made a mural in Kaka'ako, and it tells the history of Kaka'ako on some construction barricades of all places. So he's featured in that first podcast. We also have a story about a bone carver. It's an interesting man named a bone carver. His name is Louis de Fish. I mean, that's what you call him, Louis D'Onofrio. And he has been perfecting the art of traditional bone carving, the fish hook.
Okay.
He has studied it all over the place, all over the Pacific, and he's taken it to places like Tonga and other places as well. He really studies the craft. So he's featured in the story. And we have a story about the Pollock Ascent. I know you know who that is.
Sure.
He's the gentleman who rides in the canoe every year into Waikiki, and he says, Christmas is here.
Yeah.
Wearing his Polaka shirt and flashing his shaka. Well, there is a new one this year. There's been a new fellow the last couple of years, but the old one, I want to say the old one, the guy who's been doing it for many, many years, had to retire because of health reasons.
Oh, okay.
And so we spotlighted him in a story. His name is Donald Boyce, and I think we have a soundbite from Mr. Boyce queued up and ready to go to give you just a sample of what he's like. So let's listen to what he has to say.
All right.
Last year, December, was the worst December I've had in my life. I had tears in my eyes, thinking back of all the places that I've been, all the hotels, all the private parties, all that.
All right, Jim, you've been telling these stories for years. You've been honing your skills and all that. Are there things that still surprise you when you sit down with people?
There are. You know, I'm surprised that people tell me their stories sometimes. You know, some people on the phone, when you pre-interview them or you talk to them, they might be a little hesitant to have a camera put in their face and to share their personal stories. But when you sit down and you chat with them, you say, I'm just going to talk story with you, no notes. close.
Yeah.
Just put your notepad aside and chat with them. Surprising things come out, and they get so comfortable. I do too, and I really like that.
Well, it's a gift that you have and a gift that you're
Thank
sharing
you.
with everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the name of the podcast
The
again?
podcast is called Tell Me a Story.
Okay.
And the first episode is available for people to listen to now. And the stories are really audio friendly because we tell our stories for television.
Sure.
You know, it's a visual medium. But these stories are surprisingly audio friendly, so I think people will get a kick out of it.
All right, now they're really easy to find. You just have to search Hawaii News Now on iTunes and Google Play. Tell me your story. Thanks, Jim Mendoza.
You're welcome, Guy. Thank you.
Awesome, and thanks for the shout out, Jim. I love working with that guy. It's just an honor. He's so easy to work with and so skilled. He's taught me so much about just listening to folks. And I have to say, if you listen to that first episode, there's now 2 up there. We just published the other one today. There's now 2 up there. But if you listen to the first one and you really want to get into the holiday spirit, Jim does a rendition of the Night Before Christmas poem. It's like perfect. Perfect for like playing for your family or kids alongside the book. I highly suggest listening to it.
I love Jim. And just hearing his story, too, as a reporter, him being in the business, he's been to some incredible places, done some really cool stories, so I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah, and that voice, he's got like the smoothest, very white. Like,
I want more. I want to just keep listening to him.
yeah,
It's
you can listen
soothing.
to Jim for a while. All right, we're going to get you updated on some more news, right?
Yes, the growing lake at the bottom of Halema'uma'u crater is showing no signs of slowing down. The photo on the left was taken on November 28th, and if you look at the top, you can see a large rock sticking out of the surface. But when you look at the photo taken yesterday, the rock has disappeared.
Whoa!
Geologists say the
quite a bit of
lake
movement.
is more than 500 feet across. They believe it's being fed by underground water surrounding the crater.
Yep. And I just posted this story to our website yesterday. You can check out these photos along with a bunch of other stories we have related to the eruption last year. All right, talking holiday again. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
I love it. I love Elf. But I'm partial.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I love
Great
it. What's
movie.
yours?
Home Alone, classic.
Oh, you know, that is a good one.
It's a Wonderful Life. Gets me every time, and to still get a tear going.
Yep.
So, and you know, this is so sappy. But I love Love Actually.
Oh,
it's a good romantic comedy.
That is good. That is a good one. Maybe not for Christmas. Well, I guess Christmas.
It has a little Christmas
vibe.
vibe. Yeah.
Well, what is the most popular Christmas movie overall in Hawaii or in the United States? Home advice website House Method put those stats together by polling 4,580 people and compiled the results. Okay, so top across the U.S. was A Christmas Story, being the most popular in 24 states. Will Ferrell's comedy Elf, Whoop Whoop, came in second. Then Home Alone, Jonathan, and It's a Wonderful Life. Now, for some reason, Hawaii's favorite is A Christmas Carol. Only in Hawaii, it's #1.
A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Like the Scrooge story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know which version because I know there's been multiple versions.
So many. Yeah. I always remember the Disney one with Scrooge McDuck. That one. And I love the Bill Murray version.
Yes.
Scrooge, so
that
good.
That one is my favorite.
And I don't even see that on any of the list. And I never think of A Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's a good one too. There's so many good ones.
I see one, A Charlie Brown Christmas. That's
so
a good
many
one
good
too.
ones.
Yeah.
I just want to do my Kevin McAllister.
Always a classic favorite.
Yeah, you got to. All right, I'm not going to do another Yoda impression, but we have a Christmas toy that you might want to get your hands on.
We're working on our lines. The merch is strong with this one. Baby Yoda toys are now available for pre-order.
Yeah.
While the cute creature has been dubbed Baby Yoda, Disney is calling the character the Child. Hasbro is offering a series of 2-inch collectible figures, as well as talking plush toy that can be squeezed to activate several cooing sounds. The toys are expected to arrive in the spring.
All right, I was on my phone there. I was trying to get the volleyball score, and it looks like it's still 0-0 according to my phone. They're in the first set right now.
Come on,
guys. Come on. Let's take you outside. That's Seattle. Just because we can. I'm glad we're here and not there because it looks a little chilly. That's Friday, guys. That's our show for today.
Made it to the weekend.
I really appreciate y'all joining us and Lacey for being with here yet again. You know what? We'll see you back here on Monday.
Happy Friday, everyone.